It is time, finally, to return to our theme park construction over at what will be Islington Towers. And you'll notice Gem has built a fountain on the way in, so that is new and was definitely not there before. What we're going to do is make our way over to what is going to be Oblivion, or at least some form of it. So if you're used to UK theme parks, you'll know exactly what I am referring to. If you have no idea at all, then this is our inspiration. Has got stuck at the top of the log flume. This used to happen when we had multiple boats going around, but I think it just depends when you close out of the realm and if the boat gets stuck at the top of the lift or not. It shouldn't happen normally, and it hasn't happened for ages, so that is just a one-off. The ghost train is of course well in development, and we are very nearly complete with that, so I will bring you that when we get to it. But yes, this is Oblivion, so it goes down the massive drop, it gets to the end of the hole where the cart is going to stop, and then we fall into it. That is the plan. The sad thing is, as this is just normal standard bedrock and we haven't enabled any host commands, as we like doing things the hard way, it does mean that our minecart speed is rather limited. However, it does stop and it does fall into this hole, and yes, we'll make this look good in the end. It has awkwardly missed the track, so that does also need a little bit of fixing. The plan by the end of this video is to have the base track fully laid down. Now that may not be actually tracked, but we'll certainly at least have the wood down and the stone to go with it, so the track will be there ready to lay fully on. That is the ideal play for the day. This little bit here that you're seeing is going to be a downward slope. That is because this is going to be the station once we eventually get round to building that part of it. That's always the most exciting part, is doing that and building the queue lines. If you're someone that used to like Rollercoaster Tycoon, then you'll understand why. I've decided to keep it elevated. Everything is going to be on fence stilts. As you can see on the big lift hill over on the left, it's going to be that style. We wanted this to be like a wooden coaster, but with that stone element down the middle for the track to ride on. It just looks quite cool, especially when you look at it from above, which I will show you when it's all down at the end. Now, I'm going to speed up through certain bits, but I know people have requested just to show the full builds that I go through and do, so that is exactly what I have pre-recorded and we're going to be looking at. Now, as I mentioned, the minecart speed is rather limited, so to get around that, we are going to zigzag it, and that should make the track a little bit faster at certain points. That's probably how we're going to have to do a lot of our roller coasters if we want any significant speed picked up. Of course, if anyone does have suggestions that doesn't involve host commands or going into creative or anything like that, then please do let me know. I'm more than up for giving anything a try. The exit out of the tunnel doesn't follow the standard design yet. This is one of the most recent bits we added into this ride, so I will have to go down and make sure that follows the rest of the tracking theme, but I'll do that off camera. We won't bore you with the tunnel. As I'm trying to keep the ride fully elevated, when it comes out of this tunnel, we do need to build it up so it is about 3 blocks high in that rough vicinity. So like I say, we're just going to absolutely fly through this bit now. You can see exactly how I went about and what design I've gone for. I've gone for an extended Z shape is what I'm calling it. We did come across these trees. I quickly decided they are firmly in the way and needed to move. I'm not going to go around the whole edge of the track just yet. I think most of it is just getting down this base layer. It was a little bit tricky. I had to kind of get a little bit inventive with it. I knew that when I was doing this, I wanted another drop. We've got this massive gap in between where the station is and this exit tunnel. So we needed to fill that in some way, shape or form, and we're just building up to that at the minute. I didn't want to have to go through terraforming this indented bit. I thought, you know what, let's just build the ride up out of it. Could be just quite a cool way to add yet another element into it. So we've now come out fully from the tunnel area, and as you can see, this is the shape in the background that is forming, and we're going to start our second lift hill. This one is not going to be quite as big as the one over the other side, but it's still going to go up around 20 blocks or so into the 90s. After figuring out if I wanted to make it just drop off the edge, it's not going to be very practical to do a gentle incline back down, just because we saw the speed on the main drop over the other side. It wasn't overly thrilling. That made the plan with this one just to get where I wanted it to finish, and the cart is just going to fly off the edge and drop onto some track down below. I did experiment with a couple different designs when I was laying these planks down, especially when we got to the zigzag bit. I couldn't figure whether I should L-shape round them so they're fully enclosed, or if I should just stick one in like how I'm doing now. That's actually what I decided on in the end. It just made more sense. The stilts can come down off of those single blocks instead of just mixing them up fully. It just looked far too clunky and made the ride really bulky, so if you are doing a similar design, you may want to think of something like that. Yes, I did just fall straight off the edge. That is my incredibly accurate measuring technique. I appreciate that I had coordinates to use, but it's just more exciting, isn't it? You might as well tank slap yourself on the way down. There we go then, we're just adding a little bit more. This is the bit of track which the piece above is going to fall directly onto, and all I had left to do at this point was just to zigzag the track, so we got a bit of speed down below, and to get both bits of track meeting in the middle. Again, we zigzag one way for a bit and then go back the other way again, just to make the ride have a bit more life and character to it. It also just makes it look prettier from above, as you'll see very, very soon when we zoom fully out. When they did get to the middle to meet, I then realised we had about 5 or 6 blocks worth of space to play with. Yes, I could have just zigzagged the whole way, but I thought, you know what, let's add one more little speed hump in, because why not? I think we do need to knock another block or 2 out there, though. The shape's not looking quite right. But again, once we stilt it, it should be pretty cool, hopefully. Or maybe it won't even be so noticeable once the extra planks are in. It was then just time to go round and place all of these planks into the gaps and make sure everything was filled, and then to have a look at our handiwork for the day. For that, of course, it was just fly straight to the top of the main drop and have a look. So this is what the track is now looking like. As you can see, it's starting to form something that looks a little bit more like a roller coaster station. Will be to the left. We have our first drop, and then the second drop is over in the distance. So what I'm now going to do, folks, is disappear. I'm going to place the track down, and I'll bring you back for the ride on it. I won't do the stilting without you. I'll bring you along for that so you can see exactly how that process is and how long it will take me to do, and then hopefully we'll have a working Oblivion coaster. If you are new around here though, please do leave this video a like, and of course subscribe, and I'll be back for another one incredibly soon.